Greetings nerds and virgins, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be going through the failure of Ben Askren, but before we start, can you like and subscribe? I'm getting views, but I want some subscribers as well since I'm building a community here. So please subscribe to hop on the shadow train. Choo choo! Hop on the shadow train. But yeah, it all started in February 2009 when Ben Askren made his MMA debut after transitioning from wrestling, where Askren made it all the way to the Olympics. So you already know he's going to have a huge wrestling advantage against anyone in MMA. Ben Askren went 3-0 in MMA before being signed to Bellator, where his first fight in Bellator was a welterweight tournament, which he ended up winning the whole thing and becoming the welterweight champion of Bellator. He then dominated the Bellator welterweight division, where he defended his belt 5 times, including a defense against the highly respected Douglas Lima. At 12-0 in 2013, Ben Askren became a free agent and was looking to fight in the UFC. Unfortunately, the UFC did not want to sign him. Dana White did a media scrum and said, "We have no interest in signing Ben Askren." And Ben Askren was confused, causing the famous beef between Ben Askren and Dana White. Ben Askren signed to ONE FC instead of the UFC, and Askren won his ONE FC debut against some guy's name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Actually, I'll give it a crack. It's Bakhaitur Abbasov. And Askren finished him via round 1 submission by an arm triangle choke and made big noise in his debut at ONE FC. So much noise that his very next fight, he went up against Nobatsu Suzuki for the ONE FC Welterweight Championship, where he ended up crushing Suzuki via round 1 TKO. He's now 14-0, and his next fight he went up against Luis Santos. And basically, Santos was looking for a way out, and he got one. He claimed an eye poke for a non-eye poke and got a no contest out of it, so good on him. Askren went chasing the rematch against Luis Santos, but Santos kept making excuses to duck it. Askren moves on and defends his ONE FC championship 4 more times, with his final fight in ONE FC being called his retirement fight. In MMA, he went up against Shinya Aoki, obviously a MMA legend, in 2017, where Askren absolutely butt-fucked him in 57 seconds. And then he retired from MMA as 18-0 and the biggest what-if in MMA history. But what if that wasn't it? On November of 2018, it was announced that the UFC had signed Ben Askren under the Trade UFC and ONE Championship agreement, in exchange for former UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Johnson. So basically, the UFC fighter Mighty Mouse got traded to ONE FC for Ben Askren. In Ben Askren's first fight at the UFC, he took on ruthless Robbie Lawler, who at the time wasn't completely over the hill. Robbie Lawler is known for his sprawl and brawl type style, so that matchup was always going to be a hard one for Ben Askren to deal with. The fight starts and Ben Askren shoots on Lawler, as we all expected. So Lawler picks Askren up and slam, bang, 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 right to the fucking face. 3 seconds into the fight, I swear Ben Askren went unconscious like 500 times, but then Ben Askren got back up and he's like, "Oh shit, he got slammed again, bang, 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 bang." This is going horrible for Ben Askren here. Askren then gets Lawler against the cage, battered and bruised. He's half dead, but he gets Robbie Lawler in a bulldog choke. Wait, what the fuck? Herb Dean, why'd you stop the fight? Herb Dean did a fake stoppage because it looked like Robbie Lawler went limp for 1 second, so Herb Dean called the fight. Lawler instantly protested, and everyone online was calling it a bit of a fake stoppage. So Ben Askren's first fight in the UFC, even though he won the worst way possible. Since he got his ass kicked, then he won by a dodgy stoppage. Ben Askren's next fight, he was booked against Jorge Masvidal, which they were former training partners with a lot of history with each other. Ben pissed the fuck out of Masvidal by mentioning how he used to ragdoll the living shit out of him in training and just slammed him non-stop. Every time Masvidal saw Ben Askren, you could see his fist twitching because of how much built-in rage he had against him. Honestly, it seemed like Askren pissed Jorge off more than even Colby Covington did. I guess one thing we can learn from Ben Askren is you never piss off Jorge Masvidal. I blinked and the next thing I know, Ben Askren was on the fucking floor stiff as a board. Basically, Jorge hit him with a flying knee right out the gate when Askren switched levels. It was the fastest knockout in UFC history, so hey, at least Ben Askren broke a record in his stint in the UFC. Demetrius Johnson broke the title defense record, and Ben Askren broke the fastest knockout record, even though he was the one who got knocked out. After that fight though, Ben Askren goes on to fight another terrible matchup for him in a main event at a fight night. He fought Damian Maia, a jiu-jitsu expert. This fight was so fucking awesome though, it was like watching two hobos in the parking lot just slinging it out. It was a super sloppy striking match with the occasional grappling exchanges which were beautiful to say the least. Though Ben Askren nearly killed Damian Maia with his spinning back fist of doom, unfortunately he decided to take Maia down like an idiot and got round 3 rear naked choke finished. That was Askren's final fight in the UFC before retiring from MMA as a whole. A lot of people are saying the trade between him and Mighty Mouse was the worst trade of all time, but personally I fucking love the Ben Funky Askren era, and it's one I'll never forget either. It was also clear that in the UFC Ben Askren was a shell of his former self, since they did sign him when he was like 36 years old. I still wonder how prime Ben Askren would have done in the UFC, and I'm interested in how you guys think prime welterweight Ben Askren would have done in the UFC. So let me know in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe to hop on the shadow train. Choo choo! Hop on the shadow train. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the top!
You tried to break me, but you couldn't tear me apart. I've got a fire inside, gonna ignite and restart. I'm rising up higher than before. With every step I take, I'm closing in on the score.